This is Hot Mike. Hot Mike. On the networks of WDAY. Here's Dom Izzo.
Welcome back, everybody. Tuesday morning edition of Hot Mike, ready to rock and roll. Tim Bergstrasser, Dragon men's basketball coach, join us about a half hour. Chat about the big weekend MSUM had. We got a big weekend on tap here in town. The Fargo Dome will be the site once again. The state's best wrestlers set to converge. They'll start getting here tomorrow. Competition begins on Thursday for the 3-day event. We'll have the individual championships on Friday, the dual championship on Saturday. For the fourth year, girls wrestling has a state championship to be handed out as well. Busy man that'll be coaching 25 separate wrestlers are heading to state from Central Cass. Travis Lemar coaches both the boys and the girls, and he joins us on this Tuesday morning. As he mentioned to me off air, he knows the season's getting down because he's sick, but he's battling through a live interview with us here this morning. It's great to see you. This week always is exciting. The emotion of getting ready for state. You've done this so many times. What's it like on Tuesday, 2 days before?
I think the big thing is just trying to help the kids manage their nerves, and making sure we're not getting too high, we're not getting too low as we prep for it. And, just for a lot of kids, they see the light at the end of the tunnel and it's like, oh man, season's almost done. It's trying to flip that and get them to realize, like, this is what every practice was for. This is what every lift was for, is for this weekend. And, just kind of cherish the fact that you get to wrestle in the Fargo Dome with everybody else, and you're part of the last tournament of the weekend.
The fact that you get this many to qualify, do you have a certain number before the year starts, or is it just we want to see who has the best year? Do you have a preconceived number when you get the year going?
Well, I mean, I think if you had asked me in early January, I would have been very shocked that we had this many kids. We were pretty beat up. We've been dealing with sickness from day one all the way up until now. I've had more than our fair share of injuries and stuff, but we were able to get a lot of kids back and get as healthy as we could. When we walked into the region girls tournament, a couple of the girls coaches were like, all right, how healthy are you? And I said, we're as healthy as we've been all year. And they're like, oh, great. So yeah.
For people that don't know, Travis, obviously your boys wrestle in the EDC. How has that gone? How has that made your team wrestlers better going up against Class A schools?
I think the biggest thing that our guys learned was that, a lot of the kids we wrestle against, they're one sport athletes, and it's just wrestling, where on the B side, you kind of cherish the fact that kids are multi-sport athletes and they're involved in everything. So our kids learned, like, hey, we got to put more time in the off season. We got to do a lot more of this off season wrestling if we want to, find our way towards the top of the podium come February. And we've seen that with the kids on our team that have had the most amount of success. They're the ones that put in a ton of time in the off season, and they've worked for it.
I think we've talked, you and I, probably the last 3 or 4 years about seeing girls wrestling going the way it was. Now it's the fourth year now of having a state champion. Jeff Welsh was always a great champion of this, former Central coach, and he and I would talk about it's coming. We're going to get our time. Now we're 4 years in, and it's still blowing up. How big is it? Is it even surprised you and how big it's got over the last couple of years?
Yeah, we were in Valley City on Sunday for the state CD meeting for the girls, and we were kind of talking about it. And one of the topics that's coming up is, when does B and A split like the boys? And right now, if you look at track wrestling, we have over 1,600 boys wrestling, and we're over 600 girls.
Wow,
which is amazing. But for the split to happen, I think we got to have, we got about double where we're currently at, just to make sure that we're putting quality wrestling out there and things like that. And I think the telltale sign, honestly, was regions. We hosted regions, and a lot of the refs were like, wow, like this, like it's really come full circle. Like our girls are competing. We had a ton of overtime matches during the tournament. Like, it was great to watch.
You saw softball firsthand, and obviously what Central Cass has done in softball. When did it get to that point where we're going to have two classes? Like, was the critical mass got to the point like we need to have A and B softball now?
Yeah, the big push obviously is on the B side. Like the A's have done a great job of getting teams established, hiring coaches, doing those kind of things. And I think if the B can start kind of following suit like we did with softball and getting teams going
Yeah.
and stuff like that, that's what it's going to take. We need more numbers on the Class B side, filling out more teams, things like that, to where we can have separate dual tournaments and all of that. And I don't think it's that far off, but there's a lot of work to do to get to that point.
I can't remember. You could correct me if I'm wrong. How many years now has this been with this schedule where the individuals go just Thursday and Friday? Because it used to be 3 straight days. How many years have they changed that over now?
Oh, that's a great question. I mean, it's been a while.
Yeah.
I was a big proponent for it just because, you hate to see a kid lose out on a chance to win an individual state title because they get hurt in the duels.
Yeah.
So, I love the format that we have. We have up until Saturday morning to change our lineups for the duels. So if a girl gets hurt or a boy gets hurt, you have some wiggle room there, to adjust your team so you can still compete. But yeah, it's been a while now, but I think it's the best setup that any state has, to be honest with you.
Because I always thought on the individual side, boy, it was a marathon because you were wrestling Thursday, you had 2 more matches on Friday, and then you had the championship Saturday interspersed with the dual portion of it. That was a long road to hoe for you knew that some people were going to be wrestling multiple matches, multiple days.
Yeah, yeah, when that was going on, we were fortunate enough to have some pretty solid some pretty solid boys teams and some really good individuals.
Yeah.
And man, by the time Saturday came, like they were cooked, like it was just like, coach, just get me home, man. I want to crawl into bed. I'm done, so yeah, it was definitely a grind. Like I said, I'm a big proponent for how we currently have it set up.
So now as you look at it for you personally, as 25 wrestlers, how do you navigate this? You can't be at every match. So how do you best to get to everybody?
Well, luckily enough, I'm blessed with a lot of great assistants, guys that are willing to volunteer, girls that are willing to, give back to the program. We added 2 of our best wrestlers ever, Katie Sinner and Jordan Flynn, came on as volunteer assistants this year. And basically before the tournament, I'll kind of assign, like, you got this kid, you got this kid, you got this kid. So we always have a coach in a corner. Because there are times we could have 5-6 kids wrestling at the same time. So,
Man.
You just want to make sure that they're represented with somebody that has worked with them all year, kind of knows their best style, where they're strong at, where, things we want to try and avoid. So it's just kind of hammering that down and making sure that everybody's accounted for, and then have good shoes on because there'll be a lot of walking. So
Have you ever got to a mat like you just got there right at the very end, the wrestler turned over and you were there? Has that happened a few times?
oh yeah, yep, plenty of times.
You've got a couple repeat champs, especially on the girls' side. Give us the lowdown on a couple of wrestlers you have back that have a chance to win repeat state championships this weekend.
I think our favorite, like the person that has the best chance to win is Anna White. She's her life is wrestling. She loves the sport more than anything. She wrestled she hasn't stopped wrestling from her state championship match last year to this week. Like she wrestles all summer. She does all the Team USA stuff.
Man.
She's traveling all over the place. This fall, her and her dad were going to tournaments everywhere. And like her dad was a wrestler in high school. So, it's great to have that kind of piece. So she's got a great shot. I think Mallory DeVries, if she has a great tournament, could definitely slip in there in the finals. I look at, my daughter, she's wrestled really tough with a lot of the top girls in the state. I tell everybody, it's really going to come down to who has their best weekend.
Yeah.
And those are the people that are standing, towards the top of the podium. We've seen it, unfortunately, even on our side where, we've had high seeds go into a tournament and just not wrestle well. And they go 0-2 as a seeded wrestler. So it happens every year. You just want to make sure that it's not you that is happening to.
The individual championships, when the wrestlers get introduced, lights out, spotlight on. North Dakota does this, and I'm not saying it because we're televising it, but for people that haven't watched it before, it's really, really neat. What makes it so special on especially the individual championships, Travis, that sets it apart? You go all over the country and follow wrestling. How does North Dakota set itself apart from other states, in your opinion?
I think, I was talking to a couple other people about this. The thing that makes our sport so unique, right, is you've got the boys and the girls, Class A boys, Class B boys, all in the same venue, right?
Yep.
And you're recognizing the best wrestlers in the state every time. And when you're sitting there in the dome, it's never quiet.
No.
It's always just loud, right?
Yes.
Because there's 8 mats going on, there's action going somewhere, and some fan base is just going absolutely nuts. And yeah, I think Fargo does such a good job with it. The Metro Tournament Committee, it's got a ton of people in there that are heavily invested in the sport of wrestling. They want to make sure that they put on a good show for the kids and the fans. And yeah, it's an atmosphere like no other. I mean, every state championship is great in our state, don't get me wrong, but we just bring that added flavor of having the multi classes and the boys and the girls all in the same venue. And yeah,
Normally the loudest ones are the Class B fans, without a doubt. If it's Napoleon, if it's Hettinger, Lisbon, you guys, I mean, it's South Border. I'm going to get somebody mad here because I'm going to forget them, but usually New Salem, I look around, and it's Thursday at 11 o'clock in the morning, and they're ready to already rip the lid off things.
Yep. Yeah, it's like I said, you're never going to find a quiet time in the dome. You just aren't.
I know you hate to talk about yourself, but you got 400 career dual wins this year. What's that mean to you?
I think the thing that really got me when we got it was how much it meant to the girls, right? Like that they were the team that won it. What it meant to them. My son Peyton had come up for the weekend to get to watch, and he comes over to the corner of the mat, and I see he's got the banner, and I'm like, put that away. He's like, what? I'm like, put that away. Like, this is the girls' moment. Like, this, they won a region dual title. Like, this is their moment. This is not about me. And then our girls come over and start grabbing the banners, and they're holding them up and waving them to the fans and stuff like that. So I think what got me was seeing how special it was for them. And I've been blessed. I mean, I've had some great wrestlers come through our program. I've had some great families, great supports, system, great assistance all the way through. This was not done by me. That's for damn sure. I've just been blessed with great people working with me and great athletes that I've been able to coach. So it's cool, no doubt about it. I tell everybody, I think it just means that I'm really, really old. So.
Well, don't, you're not that much of a slouch. You did an unbelievable job, and I always look forward to our conversations on wrestling. I hate to do this to you because I know you're sick, but Aaron Rodgers is no longer a Jet. I haven't got your 2 cents on it yet. He's the only other Jet fan in Cass County that I can talk to. What are we doing now? Because, of course, there's no quarterback to go get.
Well, honestly, for me, I think you roll with Jordan Travis and Tyrod Taylor.
Wow. Really?
And yeah, and here's the only reason why, right? Because come next year, there's going to be this kid by the name of Arch Manning coming out. And if we're the number 1 pick,
yeah, all right.
Even the Jets can't screw that up. So
famous last words said there.
Yeah, honestly, they'll win some game they shouldn't win. But like for me, I don't know.
I go get Cousins. Cousins is cheap, right? We don't have to pay him.
Yeah.
Go get him for a year. That's fine.
You could. I'm just sick of being mediocre. I'd rather just be terrible for a year and get somebody like Manning to come in.
Gosh, that'd be fun. I'd do that.
Oh man, that would be my ultimate dream.
Boy, they have to be really bad then next year, like 2-15 kind of bad. Oh man.
Yep. Well, I mean, they're capable.
No, there's no doubt. There's no doubt about that. It's great to see you, bud. Thanks so much for giving us the time. Congrats on the milestone. I will see you at the Dome on Thursday, okay?
Sounds good. Thanks, Dom.
Travis Lemar, Central Cast boys and girls wrestling coach, AD out in Castleton, and we always appreciate his time. And as I mentioned, the Squirrels have 25 separate wrestlers that are going to be at state. Now, here's our daily disclosure we're going to be giving about our state wrestling tournament coverage. We're doing this each day leading up to things get going on Thursday. So on Thursday, the opening day for all individual competition, you can watch that online on WDAY Plus, Inforum.com. Yes, you need a subscription. Yes, you need to pay for it. Do not call me. Do not email me. Say, oh, I can't believe you're going to do this. Save that for the Class B because I'm sure I'm going to get that 2 weeks from now. That's the way you got to go. But you can watch everything there, quarterfinals, the semis, the wrestlebacks, all Thursday online. Friday, when the wrestlebacks start in the morning, again, you can stream all that. If you want to see a wrestler, you're going to be able to watch them. And from Henniger to Napoleon to Lisbon, Grand Forks, Larimore, Minot, you name it, you're going to be able to watch them. The individual championships will take to the mat at 4:30 on Friday afternoon. We will televise that on WDAY Extra, where we'll have 3 separate boxes on the screen you'll be able to watch there. If you want to watch just the Class A boys, there'll be a stream for that. If you want to watch the Class B boys, you can do that. If you want to watch the girls, there'll be a stream for that available. And then Saturday, for the dual portion of the tournament, we'll stream the quarters and the semis early in the day. I believe the semifinals will go at about 11:30. And then the championships will take place at 4 o'clock. That will be on WDAY for the A dual championship, the B dual championship, and the girls championship. And the same process there works. If you just want to watch the girls, you can stream that at WDAY Plus at Inforum.com. So that's our lineup. We'll have television coverage on Friday and Saturday. Friday at 4:30, Saturday at 4 on Extra and on WDAY. It's a huge undertaking that we're doing here with about 12 different cameras and about 30 different people. I would say this is probably our biggest undertaking we have over the next 5 weeks. Hockey has its own. Basketball we got down. This is a new one, and we're excited to see how it goes. So that's the deal. If you missed the information on that, we'll give it out again over the next couple of days. But if you want to watch wrestling, WDAY Plus Inforum is your best avenue to go on it. We'll have it on TV for the individual and the dual finals. But if you're looking to watch from start on Thursday to end on Saturday, online is certainly the way to go there. We're overdue for a break. We'll get caught up in a few emails here. We appreciate Travis joining us. Back on Hot Mic on this Tuesday morning, right after this.